Short rib ragu. Not that stuff, this stuff. Tender beef shredded into homemade ragu sauce, one of the best comfort foods you can make around this time of year. But don't offer it to your kids though. I know they're hungry, but you will absolutely ruin their taste buds, and you'll be paying the hefty price out of your pockets every Tuesday night when it's spaghetti night. Let them eat that stuff. First thing I'm going to do is grate down this Parmesan cheese rind that I have. I'll need some of the cheese later for sprinkling on top, but I also want to put this rind into the rest of the ingredients. This is optional, but I like to do it. Then I'm going to peel and grate 2 medium carrots. You could also dice these up, but I already have the grater out. By the way, a bench scraper like the one I have here will do so much good in your life, not just for the doughs you'll be making, but also cleaning up. I'll also dice up a medium yellow onion, and then I also minced up 5 cloves of garlic in my garlic press. Now I've got my boneless short ribs. I think this was about 3 pounds here. You could absolutely use bone in, and I actually was originally looking for that, but I saw these and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go for this. The only thing with the bone in is that sometimes there's like some little inedible pieces around the bone that you may have to remove. Otherwise, it leaves for a not so fun chew. But if you can find boneless, go for that. It'll probably make your life so much easier. And I think, I don't know, honestly, it feels like maybe you're getting a little bit more than what you're praying for. I don't know. I'm gonna hit these with kosher salt and coarse black pepper on both sides. Now for the fun part. Get you a Dutch oven over some medium-high heat, drop a few glugs of avocado oil or some type of cooking oil with a high smoke point, and sear all of your pieces of meat. I just did 2 sides of each, but you can do all 4 if you like. Just remember, we're trying to get a good sear like this, not to completely cook it through. When seared properly, we should have a nice fond at the bottom of our Dutch oven. That's them there brown pieces at the bottom. All of that is flavor that we do not want to lose. I did my short rib in 2 batches. Once they were done, I added just a little more avocado oil and then popped in my carrots and onions. Once the onions began to start changing color, I added in my garlic and got that all stirred up. About a minute after I added the garlic, I mixed in about 3 ounces of tomato paste. I got this little can here, and listen, if you want to use the whole thing, totally fine. No need to keep that tiny can of tomato paste around for the next 4 months because you're probably not going to use it. So if you want to use it all, go for it. It's not going to make too much of a difference. Now, I've seen this next ingredient so many times in these type of recipes, and after much reluctance to use it, I finally did, and I'm so glad I tried it. Anchovy paste is going to provide great umami flavor to our sauce. And listen, I am someone who does not care for anchovies outside of Caesar dressing, but a little paste, like a tablespoon's worth, gives this dish an awesome flavor profile. So if you want to, this is the time to add it in. If you're just like, no, John, I can't do it, I totally understand, but it's worth giving it a shot. Give that a good mix and let it cook for about 1 minute. I then mixed in 1 cup of red wine to start deglazing the bottom of the pot. That means getting all those brown bits we worked so hard on creating off the bottom and into our mix. Let that alcohol cook off and reduce for a little bit. At this point, I also turned down my heat to medium, and I added in 2 cups of beef broth. I also have a can of whole peeled San Marzano tomatoes that I'm going to crush in the can and let it pour into my pot, juices and all. A tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 2 bay leaves, and I tied up some sprigs of thyme using butcher's twine. This is just to make it easier to fish out later. And our Parmesan cheese rind. Once this all comes back up to a simmer, we can finally put those short ribs back into the sauce. Cover with a lid and into a 300-degree oven. It goes for 2 hours covered and then slightly uncovered for an additional hour, making for a total of 3 hours. After our time is done, get it out of the oven, fish out that thyme and that Parmesan rind. Hey, look at me, I'm rhyming. As well as the 2 bay leaves. Then we can set our short ribs on a cutting board and begin the fun process of shredding our meat. And then back into the bowl it goes, and I just let it rest for 15 minutes before I started to serve, which was enough time for me to make some simple Parmesan polenta. I could serve this with pasta, and honestly, when I had leftovers, I did serve it over pasta, but I have so many bags of polenta that I decided to go that route. And there you have it, short rib ragu. Of course, the poor choice of today was red wine. I'll be back to my own camera antics very soon now that the busy weeks of the year are almost over. But until next time, Poor Choices Kitchen, tell me how your ragu came out.